I've been in this coaching game for a long time. I took my first client when I was 18 as a young personal trainer, which means at this age, I've been coaching over half my life. In 2007, I took my first remote client. He used to have to upload his videos to YouTube, post the link in the email. I had to download them from my email and watch them from there. There was no WhatsApp, there was no coaching apps. It was literally the Stone Age. In that time, I've been able to build my business to a level I'd never even imagined was possible. To this point, I've helped thousands of clients. I've presented internationally. I purchased a home. I've been sought out by some of the best coaches in the industry as a mentor. Heck, I've even had some of my own mentors come to me to help them. I've been able to buy my wife her dream car, and we're in the process of purchasing an investment property. To say that I'm living the dream isn't even possible because the life that I'm living is far beyond what I could have ever dreamed of when I started. I'm beyond proud of my success. But if I could go back and change a few things, you're darn right I would. In fact, you can bet your ass there's a lot I would change. A big part of my mentorship is helping the coaches I work with avoid the mistakes that I've made. So if I could go back and do it all over again, what would I change? Let's get into it. I would have seen the value in what I had to offer earlier. When you're first starting out, you don't really realize what a phenomenal opportunity you have. People are coming to you for help, you're giving them programs, you're coaching this person, that person, and honestly doing it just because you love it. People were in demand of a service that I had to offer, so I offered it. I just wanted to help. But if I could go back, I would have started it as a business much sooner. I would have developed a model, structured my offerings, and standardized my service delivery. I would have used my early clients as a means to pressure test my systems and see if it was something that I could scale. I wasted a lot of time haphazardly on spreadsheets, doing communication through whatever medium was available, and I didn't keep very good records. I simply wasted a lot of time doing things inefficiently. I would have also incorporated sooner. Once I structured my business like a business, I would have incorporated it right there and then. When I started coaching, I didn't claim any of the income, which is fine, but a bit dangerous in hindsight. I got lucky because PayPal and websites of the like weren't heavily regulated back then. So the CRA and the IRS didn't necessarily know what was going on. But now things are regulated so tightly, they want your tax dollars and they're going to make sure that they get them. I would have incorporated my business sooner and separated my income from my full-time job because as soon as I was making enough money that I couldn't hide it, I ended up paying a lot more in personal income tax than I would have had I incorporated sooner. Tax avoidance is a crime, but tax evasion is my responsibility. And quite frankly, I flaked on that responsibility early on. I would have incorporated early and saved myself paying the tax man a lot of the money I earned. Next, I would have hired a business coach sooner. In 2021, I hired Dr. Mark Morris to help me structure my mentorship program. He's become a trusted friend and helped me create the mentorship program into something that truly changed my business. This decision is one I wish I would have made way earlier than I would have. I had a great, successful, scalable, multi-six-figure coaching business, but I knew that I wanted more, and I knew that a mentorship could get me where I wanted to go. Knowing what I do now about how I help other coaches structure their coaching businesses, I would have hired a business coach well from the beginning and saved myself so many of the headaches I inevitably ran into. I could have been much more profitable much sooner had I done so. This is one of the big ones. I wish I would have collected more emails sooner. Email marketing is not dead, and in fact, it's more important than ever. When you have someone's email, you're not at the mercy of an algorithm. You know that when you press send, that email is going into the inbox of the person whose email you sent it to. When you post on Instagram, you have no control over who sees your posts and who doesn't. There are so many people that I knew, who I worked with, who I helped, or who I corresponded with, that I simply have no way of communicating with anymore. When it comes to sales and nurturing leads, email is king. Had I started my email list sooner, who knows where I'd be. I would have leveraged content marketing more aggressively. I've always been writing, even at an early age. But unfortunately, since I was so late to the party establishing my business as a business, I was never able to leverage that writing into video or into any other sort of content. In fact, most of it is lost in the abyss of the internet. I wish I could go back and use that writing to reach more people, to develop more content, to develop more video, to educate, and to bring more people's eyes to the work that I was doing. That would allow me to serve both my current clients, past clients, and organically reach more future clients. I was so late to the party on Instagram and even later to the party on YouTube. In fact, I fell victim to a lot of the same things you all face. I didn't have a voice. I didn't want to be some other YouTuber spouting off about random things people didn't care about. And I'm kicking myself every day for it because I do have a voice and what I say has value for a lot of people. Next, I would have developed SOPs much earlier. SOP stands for Standard Operating Procedures. When you're working in a business, you tend to get a little tunnel visioned as to what you're doing. You're just serving clients, and that's great, but you leave a lot of time on the table because you end up doing a lot of the same things over and over and over again. These things can all be automated, templated, and standardized. Things like onboarding emails, PDFs for frequently asked questions, automated email reminders, and automated billing. I spent far too much time living in an analog world. When I took an inventory of where my time was being spent, I realized how many redundancies there were in my business and how much time I was truly wasting. Once I implemented SOPs, I was able to save myself a ton of time, make my business seamless, free up some mental bandwidth that just made everything run so much more efficiently. Now, when I onboard a new coach, I have a Google Drive folder that I can literally hand over to them and say, hey, here you go. This is how we run our business. Have at her. I would have clarified my mission and vision. People make fun of or downplay the mission and vision statement, but I think it's absolutely paramount to your success. If you want supreme clarity over every decision you make, you have to have a clear mission and vision. That lighthouse in a storm makes finding your way so much easier. When I took the time to establish Raise the Bar as our company's mission, it made everything we did much simpler. It clarified the qualities that we were looking for in the coaches that we hired, and it made finding the direction that we took Master Athletic Performance and Coach's Corner U so much more clear. Raising the bar made this possible because it took everything else off the table. If it doesn't raise the bar, I don't want it. I would have chose business partners and ventures much more carefully. But don't get me wrong, I've had the opportunity to work with some amazing human beings with incredible skill sets on some fantastic and world-renowned projects. But in my haste, I didn't make sure that they were the right people for the job. In all of these instances, there was a gap that couldn't be addressed without spending more money on outsourcing or bringing on more people. CCU started with 4 founding members. I'm the only one remaining. I also had an app with a business partner. And unfortunately, we had a great idea, but lacked the technical expertise to move it forward, and we had to outsource and we ran out of money. With these experiences, I now know who I work best with and what sort of skill sets I need for the jobs that I'm looking to fill. They can't just be high quality humans. I would have spent less money. Now, I'm not saying this because I spend money frivolously. In fact, quite the opposite. But I certainly did not invest enough money early on. I spent money on things with very little ROI and didn't think into the future. My philosophy on money is to use it as a tool, to invest in living a full life, and to build towards the future. Invest in yourself, invest in your business, invest in your experiences. You don't need as many nice things as you think you do. And if you can't buy 2 of them, don't buy it. Lastly, I would have documented the process. This is one I truly wish I would have done differently, but at the same time, I was so present and in the moment doing the thing that I wouldn't change that for the world. I didn't waste time documenting the process, but now when I look back, all I have is memories. I don't have any pictures, content, or literally anything to remind me of the old days, how I started the company, how I built it to what it is. I think the process of building MAP, building CCU would have been really engaging content, as well as my own journey in lifting. And I think it could have brought a lot of eyes to the work I was doing, which brings me back to point number 5 about content marketing. The thing is, it's never too late. And I'm doing a better job now with this YouTube channel, and I hope that the content that I'm sharing helps you all in some way. I don't regret a thing about the journey, because it got me to where I am today and has provided me with an abundant future. But these 10 things certainly could have skyrocketed me even higher, even faster. Hopefully through this video and this channel, you're learning about some of the things that you could do differently, and I'm able to get you to a place where you far surpass my level of success and become an industry leader in your own right. Stay strong.